Hey friends, it's Jacqueline here. February is a very short month. The first 2 weeks is usually just getting ready to celebrate Valentine's Day, celebrate love, friendship, family. And then after Valentine's is gone, the month is over. But I have to say that I have a lot of beauty products that I have been loving during the month of February. So let's dive in and start first with fragrances. One of the fragrances that I was using, I think like I was all into that romance mode, that as soon as, not even in February, also in January, I was like using it quite a bit, is Tom Ford Lost Cherry. Oh, this fragrance is just so beautiful and it's gonna be the fragrance of the day. It has to be. It has to be because this is just... As soon as you spray it, the first thing that you're going to smell is that beautiful cherry, then the almonds. This fragrance is just so unique, so romantic, so beautiful, very feminine, but it does have a lot of personality. I just love Tom Ford Lost Cherry, one of my favorite fragrances from Tom Ford. And talking about Tom Ford, I reviewed that 3 latest fragrances that Tom Ford has released from the Rose Garden collection: Rose d'Amalfi, Rose de Russie, and Rose de Chine. And I know I still have my little sample right here. I'm so in love with Rose d'Amalfi. Oh my goodness, this fragrance is just perfection. Is one of the most tender, feminine fragrances that out of the 3 fragrances from the Rose Garden collection, I feel this one right here is the one that wins my heart completely. I love how the heliotrope brings a little bit of that almondy kind of scent, marzipan kind of scent to it. You know, every time that I smell Rose d'Amalfi and every time that I wear it, it's like going into a French bakery where I can smell the macaroons, fresh, and the powdered sugar. And don't think that this scent is too powdery, but it's tender, soft. The rose is there. It's just so gorgeous. Amazing scent from Tom Ford. And talking about roses, I actually got this little fragrance discovery collection set from Chantecaille, and I have to tell you that there's many of the fragrances from Chantecaille that are just so good. One of my favorite ones is Derby Rose. This one right here. Oh my goodness, this is one of the finest rose scents that I have smelled in a while. I know I'm gonna be smelling like everything, but that's okay. That's okay. I love this scent right here. So the good thing about it is that this discovery set, when you open it up, it has all the notes of each of the fragrances. So Derby Rose has notes of raspberry, cassis, Italian lemon, Bulgarian rose, pink magnolia, sandalwood, patchouli, and ambrette seeds. This is just a bouquet of roses. It's just gorgeous. And then another one that I have been loving a lot is Le Wild, and this fragrance has notes of gardenia and tuberose. And as you know, my friends, I'm a lover of tuberose. I just love a good tuberose even more than gardenia. I love gardenia, but tuberose wins my heart. So those are some of the fragrances that I have been playing around quite a bit. And then pretty much for my daily use, morning use, my Chanel beige. Oh, this is just a classic. This is just so lovely too. So elegant. This is just elegance in a bottle. I mean, it has to come from Chanel. Okay, friends. Now going into the makeup. Well, before makeup, my SPF, the one that I have rediscovered once again. I mean, I use it quite a bit, but sometimes, I just change between SPFs. But this one right here by Chantecaille is just so beautiful. It goes so well under makeup. I don't apply it and then immediately put my makeup on. I actually apply it and then I wait about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and then I go with my makeup on. But this is just so lovely. The way that it actually also hydrates the skin actually is very interesting, because when you receive it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is full liquid. You hear it right there? You have to shake it really well, but it just hydrates your skin in the most beautiful way. It protects you. It has an SPF of 45, and it is also marketed as a primer, but I mean, it's a sunscreen, and you should wear your sunscreen all the time and reapply it too. Okay, now going into primers. I had been trying this primer for a little bit over a month. It's just I haven't had the chance to really bring it in a try on haul or anything like that. I'm so sorry. I have been so busy, but I have been enjoying quite a bit the Vanish Airbrush primer by Hourglass. This primer right here is very smoothing, and it's also hydrating. It doesn't feel to me, it's not mattifying. It actually gives the airbrush finish, very lovely finish, and it actually, I think, yes, it helps a little bit with the longevity of certain foundations, but overall I like how smoothing it is without feeling silicone. I actually have been using it instead of my Tatcha, the liquid seal canvas. You know, my friends, I use this one right here for my enlarged pores, but this one has done the trick. But one that I had been loving, I think a little bit more than this one right here, is the Tone 4 Soft Matte Primer. I do have, again, another little sample. I know you're going to be like, you're not buying the products anymore, you're just doing samples. Well, you know what? I promised myself this year to apply more caution in the products that I'm buying. For those products that I'm just super excited, that I just really want to try it, I'm buying them. And then for those that I'm like, not so sure if I'm able to get a sample, I'm doing so. Yeah, because I don't want to be wasteful. And one of my essays sent it to me, and also because he says that this is a soft matte primer, and I do have dry skin, so I honestly don't want a mattifying primer, but I usually use a primer on this area right here, my cheeks area, where I do have the most sun damage. That's why I have enlarged pores right here. That's why I have redness right here. Please wear your SPF. I'm on my 4th floor. I'm 42 years old, and if you're in your 20s, if you're younger, please wear your SPF, because you will regret it so much if you don't. Anyhow, going back to this right here, this is a gorgeous primer, beautiful. In fact, I'm doing right now I'm wearing a foundation. I don't know when you're going to see this video, but I'm wearing the reformulated Clé de Peau Radiant Cream Foundation, and I'm using it on this side of my face, and I feel that it's very smoothing. It actually kind of like blurs a little bit the enlarged pores without being too, again, silicone, too mattifying. To me, it's a little bit more perfecting than the Vanish primer from Hourglass. So I'm very excited about this primer, and I'm very tempted to get, just a large size. But for right now, I have been trying it and I have been loving it. Going into foundations. So at the beginning of the month, I was still loving my Chanel number 1. This is a perfect foundation, but I was also giving it more a try to the Rose Ink Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. This serum, it's very alike. I did a comparison with the Chanel Water Tint, and honestly, it's a close dupe. I don't want to say that it's exactly the same, because it's not. This one right here is more of like a serum-like, so it does have more hydration. It doesn't sit as close. I mean, it sits close to the skin, but not as close as the water tint. Hopefully it makes sense right there. It's more serum-like, so you really feel those skincare ingredients acting. And I have been loving it, like this for everyday use. So good. Just like I said, kind of like that Chanel water tint. I have been loving it a lot. But a foundation that really, I even mentioned it on my review. This is one of my most beautiful foundations in my collection, is the reformulated SISLEY Phyto Blanc Le Cushion Foundation. I was going to skip on this foundation because the shade range is very poor. There's only 5 shades. And I do have a light to medium skin tone. I wear, if you're familiar with Chanel foundations, I wear usually B30 when I'm on my pale list, B40 spring, summertime, and even part of fall time. By the way, I will be leaving all the details of my makeup, the products that I'm talking about today. Everything will be on the description box below. But if you are wondering about MAC, I will be leaving also my foundation matches. But with MAC, I will say NC25 up to NC30. I range right there. NC27 too. But with MAC, honestly, I don't have like a perfect match, but those are my close matches. And I was really impressed and surprised that one in Ivory, it was so close to my skin tone. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because, I mean, 5 shades is nothing. But this foundation, please, Sisley, I know it's going to be hard. It doesn't say anywhere here that it has SPF 50, but it does says it on the website. So I'm thinking, I want to assume that because of the high SPF, that's perhaps why they didn't want to venture into expand the shade range, although doesn't give them an excuse to not do so, because there's different ways that they can actually cater for more skin tones. I mean, I have seen it on M Cosmetics. Even the Chantecaille Cushion Foundation, although it only has 12 shades, it's spread so well that it actually works for those with deeper complexions. I mean, I remember seeing my friend Victoria James reviewing the Cushion Foundation from Chantecaille, and she has a rich complexion, and it works for her just fine. So anyhow, going back to this foundation, it's so perfecting. It meshes with the skin so well. It doesn't look like you have foundation, but the thing that impressed me the most is the longevity of this foundation. So on my wear test, my last check-in was at 9 hours, and then after that I kept going with my day, and I had to do a lot of work, and part of my work was also editing a video, and I ended up going to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, and at 3 o'clock in the morning I took out this foundation, and it looked as beautiful as when I applied it at 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I'm talking about plus a 12-hour wear test on my end. Obviously, you just saw until, 9 hours, but I'm so impressed how this foundation, it looked beautiful. It seemed like it never moved, like it never caked. It looked just like your skin, but with a subtle radiance that it gives this youthful glow to the skin that is just extraordinary. I cannot really express how amazed, impressed I am with this foundation. This, to me, epic foundation, that foundation of the month of February. There you have it. Okay, moving on right here to bronzers. So I had been actually going back to the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. This right here, I have my bronzers. I should do a, makeup collection type of video or something like that. I still owe you a declutter. I have been decluttering quite a bit. But anyhow, my bronzers, because they are smaller compacts, they are in one unit, in one drawer. And then the largest bronzers and other face palettes, they are in another unit. So sometimes I kind of like forget and don't reach out too much to it. But while I was doing my declutter, I actually came across back again to the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer, and what a beautiful bronzer. This is just airbrush perfection, matte, but it's not flat matte. I mean, it does give a beautiful bronze to the face. And the bronzer that I'm wearing today is by Victoria Beckham Beauty. My friends, I love this one, and I grab it, on and off, on and off. And this one right here is the shade number 2. Usually I use the shade number 3, but today I'm using the shade number 2, and I think it looks pretty good. I really love how soft it is. I really love that you can warm up your entire complexion. If, say, the foundation is a little bit too light for you with the lighter tone, and then with a deeper tone, it's not really a contour, but it actually still warms up your face with a little bit of that doré kind of finish that it makes you look, very healthy, like a natural bronze. Very beautiful bronzer from Victoria Beckham Beauty. Ooh, and then friends, that I don't like to set my makeup, but I have been enjoying so much this Givenchy loose setting powder. This is the Prisme Libre in the shade 3 Voile Rosé. Oh, this is just gorgeous. It gives a subtle, kind of like a radiance to the face. There's no shimmer, there's no glitter, and it's just so imperceptible on the skin. You're not going to see these mattifying, cakey, kind of like, very like, yes, you're wearing makeup type of setting powder. Not at all. And actually, Givenchy just came out with their version of the Prisme Libre powders, but in a pressed version. And yes, I went ahead and bought it. So hopefully it's coming sometime soon this week. And then I will give you my thoughts on that one and see if it's the same formulation or if it has changed a little. Hopefully it hasn't changed. Okay, moving on to blushes. So I have been still enjoying very much my Chanel La Pausa blushes, La Comer blushes. They are beautiful. But a blush that I have to say, so gorgeous, is the new Patrick Ta She's Blushing blush. It's the blush that I'm using today. It's so pretty. It's just so pretty. I think this was really missing on his collection because it does give this like pinky undertone to it, but it's still neutral, natural. It's just so beautiful. It gives a healthy look. I love the formulation from Patrick Ta, and I will have to say, again, I do have a review on this specific blush right here, comparing it side by side, I think with She's So LA, and obviously, you know, swatches and comparisons with other blushes, but this specific one has a slight not shimmer but radiance to it, a little bit different to other blushes from Patrick Ta, that the matte formula is truly kind of like a velvety matte. This one right here has this subtle radiance to the skin that it just looks, again, very healthy, very youthful. Lovely formulation from Patrick Ta and lovely shade selection. I mean, like, he has an eye for choosing the right shades that is just amazing. And then moving on into eyeshadows, Tom Ford has come back with this amazing creme formulation. I cannot wait to see more of this formulation. The one that I'm wearing today is Rose Topaz. Is this beautiful cool tone eyeshadow quad that has this gorgeous taupey shade. This shade right here has kind of like a little bit of plummy kind of tone, like eggplant kind of tone with a little bit of gray in it. It's, if you love, say, nude deep, you're gonna love this eyeshadow quad because it's not the same. And also, again, I don't want to repeat myself, but if you need reviews, you need comparisons, I really highly suggest to check my channel. I do have individual reviews for pretty much each of these products with a lot of comparisons, but the formulation is just creamy, it's soft, it just glides on the skin. I do have hooded eyelids and I also have a lot of false texture on my eyelids, and it just I don't want to say that it blurs it, but it doesn't emphasize it. It's easy to blend. The formulation is honestly effortless. And the other quad in this same formula is Tiger Eye. If you are a lover of Suspicion, this will take your heart, just as I am. I love the Suspicion palette from Tom Ford, and this palette right here give me that very kind of like golden goddess J-Lo vibe kind of look. That look is just so beautiful, while Rose Topaz give that more of like sophisticated, a little bit like not serious, but you know, just a sophisticated cool tone look. Definitely these two eyeshadow quads caters for those who like either cool tones or warm tones perfectly, just perfectly. And then continue talking about Tom Ford. Oh my goodness, finally this eyeshadow palette. Oh, METALLUST. Ooh. If you are a lover of neutral, you know, neutral tones, nude tones, but you like to have a little bit of something, these two eyeshadows right here they look wet on the eyelids. They look glorious, beautiful, stunning. They glide. They are not chunky. They do have enough emollients, and you have your kind of like taupey cool tone shade, and then you have a little bit more of like a rosy kind of shade right there, stunning. And then you have your matte shades. Blendability is beautiful. You're not gonna have any fallout with none of these Tom Ford eyeshadow palettes. None of them. This badass formulation, that's the name. Well, Extreme formulation, wow, really amazing. And this formulation right here reminds me to the Lip Lasters formulation from Victoria Beckham Beauty. Let me show to you. I have here chiffon and I have here honey. and Tea Rose. These are gorgeous too. Let me just show them to you side by side. So they are not exactly, you know, a dupe. I was even thinking about Mink, but Mink it's a lot deeper in tone. Yeah, Mink is very, very deep, almost greenish in tone, but it has that, you know, creaminess to them. I think they are very comparable, the eyeshadows from the METALLUST eyeshadow quad from Tom Ford to these Victoria Beckham Beauty Lit Luster shades. Very lovely, that beautiful shine, easy to glide, a lot of payoff right away, truly stunning. If you are not able to get your hands on the METALLUST, again, I will be leaving wherever I can find it on the description box below, but one that is not exactly the same, it's definitely different, but I have been enjoying it a lot too, is the new Chantecaille Giraffe eyeshadow quad from their spring collection. Also a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous eyeshadow quad that is this cool tone. I love this white shade right here, but this shade right here does have a little bit of kind of like lilac tone in it with a little bit of taupey silver. Look at that. Simply stunning eyeshadow quad. I think the main difference between Chantecaille's Giraffe and the Tom Ford eyeshadow quad in METALLUST, there's different finishes right here. These two right here are matte. This one is matte. This one right here has a kind of like a, I don't want to say a satin finish, but between a matte and a satin finish, it's right in the middle. Then you have this kind of like duochrome shade, then this white shade right here. While these two right here are more metallic, like if in comparison, this one will look alike to these two in terms of finish, but not in terms of the shade. I mean, this shade right here and this shade, they are very unique. The only two that are really alike is this right here, but they are similar in the sense of like they will give you that very beautiful nude look that has a gorgeous metallic finish without being too much too shiny too on your face. Honestly, both quads amazing. Oh, and I also forgot to talk about my concealers. So I have been enjoying quite a bit the Clé de Peau concealer. This is the reformulated one, is the one that I'm using today, but I also have been loving for everyday use my Chanel concealer, and this one right here is actually the color corrector in Peach. Honestly, it cancels so well my under eye circles. You're gonna be wondering, are you letting go your Tom Ford concealer? No, I'm not. I love it, but this one right here has been my everyday kind of concealer. So good. And then this one right here too, if I want to do like a spot concealing, I do have some sun spots right here and right here too, and I like to, if I'm not using much makeup or just SPF, I like to go with the one from Clé de Peau because it's also non-drying. It does have a little bit of moisture in it that it just looks very hydrating either under the eye or, you know, if you use it for spot concealing. And now going into lipsticks. Oh my gosh. I do have quite a bit of amount of lipsticks right here, but let's go first with a lip liner. This is my first time trying Natasha Denona lip liners. I know, I'm so late to the party, so late, but so happy I give it a try. This is the shade Kala, and it's from her Rose Lip collection that I as well reviewed it, and I decided to just pick up one. The shade Kala is the one that I'm wearing today. I'm so impressed of how it's not extremely long lasting, but it lasts a good amount of time. I really love how it glides on the lips. Beautiful pigmentation. The shade is lovely too. I love the shade. It's kind of like a nudie pink. I thought it was going to be like, oh, super pink. It actually has even a little bit of warmth and peachiness to it. Just lovely. And again, I really love the formulation. Now I'm super curious to try other shades. I heard the shade, I think Julia, it's a really good shade, so I think I'm gonna pick up that one next. talking about now to lipsticks. So I tried that new formulation of Natasha Denona lipsticks from the I Need a Rose Lip collection. So you know that I have done swatches of the entire I Need a Nude lipstick collection from Natasha Denona, and this formulation is a little bit different. I'm using right now the shade Daphne, and I really love not only the hydration but the amount of pigment that it gives, and also the little shine. Do you notice right there? So it's a beautiful satin lipstick, but that is more creamy, a little bit thicker, and I love the shades. Both of the shades, Daphne and Kala, the ones that I have, beautiful shades. I'm gonna pick up Peony. I just have to. Otherwise, I will be missing out on my collection of Natasha Denona lipsticks. But beautiful pigment. You will have to reapply them. It's not that you don't have to, but beautiful. Other lipsticks that I have tried are the new ones from Merit Beauty, which is a clean luxury brand carried at Sephora. And oh, wow, if I love these lipsticks. I got them in the shade Baby and Sleep. I think out of the two, both of them I love. Baby, I think is such a unique cool tone, well, neutral leaning cool tone pink, that you know that I'm a lipstick lover, but I cannot really find a dupe for this specific shade, and that's so weird. That is so weird because it's just such a unique, beautiful shade. And some of you had asked me what is the difference between the Merit and the Natasha Denona one. So the Merit is also of a satin finish, but it does have this sheer coverage to buildable coverage. So basically you can just swipe once and the pigmentation will be, you know, like uniform, but you can have more control on how much pigment and how much color you want to add to your lips. So you can just go one swipe, be very uniform, give a touch of color of your lips, being a little bit sheer, or just do a couple more, you know, swipes and then full pigmentation. Totally beautiful. And I love this packaging right here too. This is such a unique packaging. I haven't seen packaging like this before, and I think the shades that they have selected are just spot on, because you have from nudie tones, like for example this one right here, it's a nude shade. This is Sleep, right? And then they also have some that are orange, some red tones. There's also one that is inspired by the 90s, that is a brownie tone. This is the shade Baby. And I just did like a swipe right there. Let me do a swipe of this shade right here from Natasha Denona. You see right there, like this one right here, it's more creamy, it's more dense. And I think you can see right there that there's some coolness to this Baby lipstick by Merit, but it's not super cool. I mean, it's super cool, but it's not cool in the sense of like, yeah, it's not too cool. It's kind of like neutral tone. But anyhow, beautiful lipsticks, both Natasha Denona and Merit Beauty. Okay, and then going to this kind of like lip balm lipstick kind of hybrids, the lip cheeks from Chantecaille. Obviously they had been a love for me from day one that I tried this formulation, but these ones are the new shades from the Giraffe collection. This one right here is the shade Freesia, also a pinky shade. You see, this one right here is even more sheer than the ones from Merit, and it has more a little bit of that lip balm aspect, but without being too much. They still remain a little bit into kind of borderline satin lipstick. And then the shade that I have been wearing quite a bit is Jasmine. This one is just your very light peachy nude shade. Totally lovely shade. You see how they are a little bit more sheer than the ones from Merit, and I love the formulation from Chantecaille. I think they did an outstanding, wonderful job with the Giraffe collection. But oh wow, if I have been just so in love with my Hermes Spring Summer 2022 lipsticks. These are of the Brilliant formulation, which is the lip balm with a tint. These are a mix of a lip balm with a little bit of pigmentation and also the finish of a lip oil, but on a bullet formula. I know, hard to explain. The one that I'm like head over heels is Orange Cappuccine. This, you see this neon pink, it's not gonna go neon-y. It's just so beautiful. And different than the one Poppy is that these ones are here, they do not have any shimmer. There's no glitter in them, but they give so much shine to your lips. They look just stunning. And then the other shade that I have been enjoying quite a bit is Beige Dew. And this one is more of like your nudie shade. Honestly, it doesn't give a lot of pigmentation, just barely there. But if you're to use a lip liner and then go over it, you just give a beautiful shine to the lips and a little bit of like that even, kind of shade to the lips that is just beautiful. And then the last shade, Rose Nymphea or Nymphy, this is also beautiful too. It's just a pinky shade. My lips but better right there. What a collection from Hermes. Honestly, yeah, I have every single Hermes lipstick. I think I'm missing 2 shades or something like that, but such a good one. And now, the lipsticks that a couple nights ago, the day that I was staying until 3 o'clock in the morning editing videos, I went ahead and placed an order for 3 other shades of the SISLEY Phyto Rouge Shine. Oh my gosh, these are subliminal. They honestly are like a true lip oil in a bullet form. They are balmy, yes, they are balmy, but they give so much shine on the lips and they make your lips look delicious, like if they were plump, without the plump effect of, say, something that that has that spicy minty. No, these actually are supposed to have like a vanilla kind of scent. The vanilla is there, but it's just so faint that you're not gonna even feel it. Believe it or not, I really love the shade Sheer Rosewood, but I'm so in love with Sheer Nude. Although you're not gonna even be able to see it on my arm, I think. But I'm just in love. I mean, like it's a nude shade. You're not gonna be able to appreciate it at all and whatsoever on this swatch. You have to watch my video where I'm reviewing these lipsticks and the cushion foundation. But they just hydrate the lips like no other. I will have to say though, with the SISLEY Phyto Rouge Shines and the Hermes Brilliant lipsticks, do not leave them, inside your car, because they will melt. They will definitely melt. So this right here, you see, it's like a lip balm, but with that lip oil finish that they just give like a glossy effect to your lips. Like they are so juicy, so beautiful. I mean, I'm just in love. I'm just in love with all of these products. And is this it for this video? Yes, this is it, my friends. These are all my February 2022 favorites. These are the products that I have been enjoying, so in love with them, that they have really impressed me, and that I have been just grabbing them in daily basis because of how good they are. Okay, my friends, and now I would love to know from you if you have tried any of these products, if some of them are going into your wish list. Let's continue the conversation on the comment section down below. And while you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, also share with family and friends, and until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye bye.